Yeah, what up, y'all? Life be Lyfe'n. Episode Story Chronicles and all of that. Man, this one is about the time I got chased in the woods by a woman, white woman. Yeah, buckle up, y'all. Here we go. It all began one afternoon, one spring afternoon. What it was, we was going out. First of all, I knew the lady, this was '07, so I knew her a few years prior to that, you know what I mean? From one relative, rest in peace, you know, to late great and all of that, you know what I mean? That's where I met her through, you know what I mean? We met her together. Some years later, my other cousin was, he came around and all that, you know what I mean? And introduced her to the lady, whatever. And so, it was all good and all that, you know what I mean? So, you know how it go, you know what I mean? Right? She seen, all right, well, you do this, whatever. So we linked up. Fast forward, we wound up chilling at old girl crib. Now I knew her, so I tells old boy, I'm like, yo, this shit is, is all right, you know what I mean? Basically, the situation is like this. The situation is like Frosted Flakes. There's no need to put no sugar. All you gotta do is pour the milk, eat, do what you do, right? So I say that to say, everybody in their right mind knows you never put, I don't know nobody in history, nobody on the planet that's put sugar on top of Frosted Flakes. I'll just say that because I'm gonna come back to that as I get into the story, right? So, all right, fast forward to we met her, we leaving. So now we leaving her crib, whatever. So I had life be life, and so I'm not always around and all that. I'm doing what I do and all that, you know what I mean? Making my little moves and all that. And what it was. So, they wound up doing what they doing. So now I relink and all that. So I'm around and we leaving old girl crib. And I don't know, it was an issue or whatever it was, because the case may be, but she knew that son had, main squeeze. She was just a side piece, whatever. All right. But some way, somehow, she ain't read she ain't understand the blueprint, or he ain't lay it down right. One of the two. So we leaving the crib. Next thing you know, this motherfucker, we sit in the car. Now I wasn't driving. I'm in the car, but I'm not driving. We had another dude, another gentleman, Harry. That was the man, white man, of course. You know what I mean? So man, we running around in town with nothing but, we switch cheeses, you know what I'm saying? Because all my clients, I could talk about it now, you know what I mean? All my clients didn't look like me. So that's why I was able to have a decent little run in my, my little whatever and all that, you know what I mean? It was fair. So I say that. So getting back to that, so we leaving, on our way on the highway, next thing you know, we look in the rear view like, yo, I think this bitch is following. We looking in the rear view like I think this bitch is following us. She had a gold Saturn. I ain't gonna say the lady name and all that shit, because it's, you know what I mean? This shit, yeah, y'all, for those that's watching the story, if you know, you know, but if you don't, I'm letting you know, I'm telling the story. All right. So we go on the highway, so the nigga Harry is driving, and we like H, because we used to call that nigga H. Yo, H, just get on the highway and just boogie, you know what I mean? Like, cause if this bitch follow us to the hood, she's going to get, you know what I mean, her ass whooped and all that. The funny shit, because the town that we did live in, which was Harrisburg, you know what I mean? This is when I was living in PA and all that, you know what I mean? That was where we was staying and shit. But one of her children, his other half, right? His co-creator, his pops basically is from the same town. Coincidence, right? So that's how that shit was and all that shit out there and shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, that was the situation. So so she like, yeah, she knows her way around the town, but she know not to fuck around up in that town and all that shit. She knows that, you know what I mean? So anyway, so the nigga H talking about, oh, I'm I can get I can take her this way and I can lose her because it's a little trail that you can go through and I can cut through the. I'm like, so Cuzzo like, yo, yeah, do your thing. I'm like, that ain't whatever. Nah, I mean, so like I'm here for the ride and all that. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. So boom, so he takes us on a, you know what I mean? So he just goes on, he makes the opposite way. He makes the turn. So now we riding, we driving. So now we getting lost. Like, I'm like, yo, all you see is trees and shit. I'm like, yo, H, like, yo, you know where you going? He like, no, yeah, I got it. I know that I used to ride around this little creek all the time. I'm like, my nigga, you did all this shit and the bitch is still behind us. Every turn you take, a sharp list, she's on it. So I'm like, yo, what made, so now we, again, because I said she chased us in the woods, because now we went deeper. Instead of him thinking he going to lose her, he's trying to lose her, but getting lost his damn self and all that shit. I'm like, how the fuck you do that shit, B? You was better off going on the highway trying to, you know what I mean, dipping, you know what I mean, make her, and then jump off an exit or something. You better off doing that. If you know what I mean, like, come on, man, like, don't like, you should have let me drive. That's what the fuck I said and all that shit. Pissed me the fuck off. I'm like, yo, man, yo, never again, B. But I'm like, yo, that was just, you know what I mean, I just wanted to just get that little quick story off and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But bust it though, cause you know what I mean? She wound up pulling over and all that shit. Now he jumped out and all that shit. And they arguing and all that shit. So he like, yo, don't follow me. You know that little bicker shit and all that. But that shit right there, man, that was not cool, B. It was not. You know what I mean? I was not jacking that shit at all. And I told this nigga, like, son, why the fuck would you? And him, that same motherfucker, H, is the same motherfucker that crashed the motherfucking MPV we had. You know what I mean? Fucked his back up and all that shit. Well, fuck it, I'm gonna give you 2 for 1. It was Super Bowl Sunday. When was that? Whatever, I forget who the fuck was playing. We in the town, we left the nigga H, the V, it was the MPV. After I done told old boy, I'm like, yo, I don't get that V. Cause that's how late Greek, you know what I'm saying, RP, you know what I mean, that's how he passed. He had the MP, you know what I'm saying? So I always vowed, I said, I'll never ride in the fucking MPV again. Quick sidebar, back when after all that shit happened, you know what I'm saying, with Cuzzo and all that shit when he passed, I was so not interested in fucking riding in them fucking damn MPVs that I said we was going somewhere. Me and my man and all that. He called the OJ or something. They sent the fucking MPV. I'm like, I'm not getting in that shit. I'm not getting that shit. I'm telling them niggas sending something else and all that. I'm not getting in that shit. They like, bro, show. I'm like, yo, I'll tell y'all niggas, explain to y'all niggas later. I don't want to fuck the moment up the evening, but that shit was crazy, man. But let me jump back to what I was saying and all that. So we tells the nigga, hey, yo, chill. We gonna see you, know what I mean? It was the Super Bowl Sunday. He was like, yeah, we see you tomorrow, we see you tonight and all that shit, whatever. We link back up. He being thirsty now, we left him the car. He go to MPV. But I'm saying that car is so bad, it's so bad luck because he took it upon himself instead of waiting for niggas. He wants to fucking hang with the niggas. I don't know why we let this nigga hang out with us it was a little happy hour. It wasn't even one evening, you know what I mean? He got thirsty and all that shit, you know what I mean? Whatever. So, we went to, we chilling. You know what I mean? We out in spots and all that shit, you know what I mean? And this nigga get a call. No, the chirp. We had the chirps at the time. This nigga get the chirp. Yo, you heard what happened to this nigga H? Mom, what the fuck happened? He was like, yo, that nigga got into an accident. He fucked your car up. Come to find out, this fool ass nigga, this nigga, what he do? He drove the car. Now he already high. Now we used to smoke rocks because that was, you know what I'm saying. We used to rent. He was a random white boy. That was my boy. You know what I'm saying. That was our boy. You know what I mean. Errand boy, do all types of shit. Yo, Age, go do this, go do that. You know what I mean. That's why I said like it was like modern day slavery because I used to have these white folk like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. It was under the spell, man. You know what I mean? And it's real talk. You know what I'm saying? I can speak on it now, but then when I was living it was just like, it didn't seem like that was the intention. It was just like, well, do this, go do that. So you making yourself available, so fuck it, go do it. You know what I mean? Make my job easier. But the one thing we didn't tell, we told the nigga to not jump in the car and come chill and come sit. He wanted to go do something. He being thirsty, like, oh, I wanted to get out of shorty crib and all of that. Like, nigga, you don't have nowhere else to go. Chill, relax, smoke your little whatever. Even if you're going to smoke your rocks, smoking in the car, just like air the shit out and all that. You got the V, like, you know what I mean? Like, but don't come up to the hood. Like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Because nobody, you wasn't authorized to do that. You know what I mean? He did it, and in route of him doing it, he banged down to a fucking 18-wheel or something like that and all of that, and flipped the fucking car on some Reggie Hammond shit, you know what I'm saying? And he finished the V. That shit was finished. Fucked his back up. These niggas had to fucking get the chopper and all that. Chopper this nigga all the way to fucking Hershey Medical and all this nigga. When we went to go see the nigga like 2 days later. Or the next day, this nigga was laid up in a whole fucking plastic back brace. Like, yo, I'm fucked up. But I'm like, nigga, it's your fault, nigga. You know what I mean? I ain't say aggressive, but I'm just like, technically, you did right, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't letting up on out. And I wasn't being sympathetic about the shit neither. Because I'm like, nigga, this your fault, B. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, however, you see how God worked and how the spirits and all that shit. I feel like that probably was the spirit of late great wise coming back and all that. Like, nigga, I died in this car and all that shit. And for my younger brother to buy the shit again and let the fucking same motherfucking the same motherfucking man of color that took me off this planet, you give him access to that, this is what happens. So that was all the universe and all that shit. As I look on it now, in all retrospect and all that. And that shit is real. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't too thrilled when he bought the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Let's keep that all the way a buck. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Again, when you're young, you're loyal to the soil. It's just like you feel like, okay, well, this is what it is, and you know what I mean. So long as fuck it, we got a V. I used to practice. That's how I got nice on the highway. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like him and, you know what I'm saying, him and wifey might go do their little thing and all that shit. I'm like, man, I ain't sitting in the crib. Fuck, what? I'm out of here. B, get the keys, roll up, I'm out. Simple. You know what I'm saying? As any young nigga would and all that shit. Who the fuck gonna sit in the crib when there's access to V's keys sitting right there and all that? You're bugging. But yeah, he broke his back and he did all that shit. Fucked the car up. But I'm just like, you see, life be lifing, man. Life be lifing, like shit like that and all that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, my man, comment, share, subscribe, let me know what's what and all that shit. You know the usual blah blah and all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Salute.